I think that if we consider more, for example, how many cittas do not arise with Vitakka, it can be the answer for the further point too. See?
Yeah.
So Vitakka arises with Sampajitthana, right?
Yes.
And that's the thing at that moment.
Not in concept, no.
So what is its function then?
To touch the object.
Because if you just see, only see and then gone, no idea at all, whatever it says, not the function of seeing. It sees, and Sampajitthana does not see. See, does not see.
Yes.
So how can it have the visible object which is seen as its object without just touching? Otherwise it fall away or it cannot be the object of the next moment and so on. It depends on what we can think just about that to really understand the function of each cetasika by understanding what moment it arises with. For example, Sampajitthana arises with Vitakka because it cannot see, but it experiences the same object of seeing, but it does not see. So without touching it, how can it be able to experience that object? From then on, Vitakka arises with Sandrena and so on, which does not perform the function of seeing. So it can be a point to consider the function of Vitakka. Why is that? Even at moment of being the path, Samma Sankappa, just touch the object so that it can be experienced clearer to Panya or to whatever, not just to be the object of seeing only.
Right.
So it arises with other cittas from the moment of seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching. So it can be one point of getting closer to understand it. When reality is there, no word for it, because it arises with each different citta, like with the path, with the Samma Titti, with Samma Sati, and so on. That's why without it, can the object be experienced? Because it's not the moment of seeing, hearing, but it still has that object as its object.
Right. So it's essential that it's there to experience the object.
Without seeing, see? It does not see, but it experiences the object by the touching the object.
Yes. Okay.
That's why it arises with the development of samatha or the development of vipassana. Or as soon as seeing and hearing falls away, it's there performing its function with any citta afterwards.
Right.
So the truth is that cetasika cannot be known when there are so many realities together. But what is that appear alone can be known. For example, painful feeling is there, see? And no other realities can appear at moment when feeling appears, right? That's why one object, one reality at a time can be the object of experiencing. Or even when it's not moment of experiences through the five doorways, whatever is there as the object needs that Vitakka too. But can anyone pinpoint the characteristic of Vitakka and Phassa and Manasikara and so on? Only when one appears to be known, it can be studied and begin to understand that sanya, memory, is a feeling. But if sanya does not appear and feeling does not appear, it's all the time. That's why in a moment there are many cetasikas. It depends on what can be object only when it appears. That's why the citta which experiences the object does not appear while visible object now appears, sound now appears, smell now appears. But what moment when citta itself, the chief of experiencing the object, it does not perform other function at all. Without it, there cannot be anything at all. No world appear, because no reality, which is the chief of experiences the object clearly than the other mental factors or the mental reality which arises to experience the object. That's why it is Cittanupassana Satipatthana, because even attachment can appear when it's strong, and hatred can appear when it's strong. But Citta now, when will it appear? Without understanding the truth that if there is not yet understanding Citta as no one, as not me, there cannot be the letting go, the idea of self at all. That's why what's meant by Asopapanna, understanding the truth of the natural reality right now as it is, little by little, to understand what is there, appear well enough or not yet, understanding that it cannot appear well enough without any understanding of the truth of it, that what is there at moment of understanding a reality, it's not Citta, because Citta is just the chief of experiencing the object. That's why we learn to understand what are wholesome realities and what are unwholesome realities, and what perform the function of being aware. It has to be sati at what level, with understanding, to understand the truth of the nature of that which is not appear. With understanding directly on that object. So now when we talk about seeing, and then there is seeing right now, but it's not the object of understanding directly yet, because not enough understanding to condition satipatthana, which understand the object enough to be aware of its nature. Otherwise, what is the nature of that which is seen? What is the nature of that which is smelled? It's not the apple or the peach, but it's the smell. Does not belong to any fruit at all. We just name it and call it. But in truth, it's just a reality, conditioned to arise and it falls away in split seconds. That's why it doesn't matter when there's no conditions enough to experience it, the truth of it as just a reality, not any fruit or any food at all. It begins to understand the different level of understanding what is there as it is right now. See, is there any understanding of seeing, not of the object which is seen, or is there time enough to understand that which is seen, only that without anything around at all? That's why the meaning of Citta, the chief of experiencing the object clearly, is not right understanding, which understand what is there, the nature of that as it is. Without learning about it, how can there be a moment of beginning to understand the truth of that which is not appearing? That's why we learn about other realities too, but we learn about the chief one of experiencing the Citta, because we talk about everything in life, but not much about that which is there from birth, arising and falling, experiencing the object as a chief all the time. Otherwise, how can there be the understanding of Citta to be Cittanupassana Satipatthana? And when Citta is the object of Sati and Panya, how can there be the letting go, the idea of self, which sees now, hears now? The firm understanding is parami too. Without firm understanding of what is known or what is not known yet, what is talked about or what hasn't been talked about enough, to really begin to attain to the characteristic at moment of seeing that it's not the object which is seen. Little by little, it develops unknowingly until it's there appearing different stages of understanding the truth of a reality right now.
Thank you, Ajahn.